they say. They got videos of him doing some, what do you call it, sadistic, faggot music videos or whatever, gothic, whatever you call that shit that these devils do. They got a video that upright with him, you know, like a faggot singing some crazy gay shit. The president of Ukraine.
Right.
All right? So that shows you that this is all a Hollywood production of them trying to distort the truth and push their lie. That's why they don't want us to say nothing. All right? They don't, especially about them. You could sit there, you niggas could kill each other all day, but you better not speak about those big nose people with the little hats. You better not speak about them, man. Because if you do, they're gonna make you disappear. They're gonna sit there and attack your food source, your money. They're gonna starve you out. They're gonna do whatever they can to destroy you, to stop you. But the thing is, it's too late.
That's right.
And when you see these video images this brother got, man, woo,
you rat bastards, it's too late. And like the brother mentioned, Vlad Tepes was killing you fucking devils. See, he was known as Vlad Dracula, because his father was a part of the Order of the Dragon, right? And his name, the Hungarians, I believe, called him Tepes. That's a Hungarian word which means impaler, Vlad the Impaler, because he was famous for impaling you Ottoman Turks. You Ottoman Turks are nothing more than the same people that call themselves Jewish to this day. You converted to Judaism in the 8th century, going back to Chagan Bullen, because he was looking at Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. And he chose Judaism, and his people basically Israelites went up there and taught them the Torah and all that. And what the Khazars didn't have a language. So what they did was they took the Hebrew, our language, in other words, our characters, the Hebrew characters, right? If you want to call it the Assyrian form of the Hebrew, they took those characters and used those characters and used their Yiddish pronunciation with those characters and said that that's the Hebrew, when it's not.
Which in doing so, they mix all them other different.
Right, they mix their Yiddish shit up in there.
Yeah, the German, Russian.
What they speak is not Hebrew, it's Yiddish.
And see, the thing is, what you saw when you go into the history of that time, they were just like they doing now. They were infiltrating Jake.
Right.
Because remember, they wasn't coming up under us just so that they could be underneath us and learn and we praise the Most High. No, they had an ulterior motive back then.
Yep.
And then going into speeding into the 1400s, like the bishop's talking about, around the time of Vlad Tepes and everything, they grew bigger. They grew larger. They were taking down certain jakes. They were in certain armies. Because we ruled during that Dark Age period. Then eventually they got to the point where they were able to start taking down, starting with Constantinople mainly.
Right, which Constantinople, they changed the name to Istanbul, Turkey.
Which today I believe is still called Istanbul.
Right, it's called Istanbul to this day. But that was Constantinople, and that was part of the Byzantine Empire.
That's right.
And right at the doors, Constantinople was right at the doors of the Ottoman Empire. It was right there. They were right on top of them. So they took Constantinople down and then renamed it Istanbul, Turkey. And the people right next door to them, the Valaks, which is Vlad Tepes' people, had to contend and deal with them. The Valaks had to give up 1,000 or so sons every so often. When the Sultan would call for them, they had to give a tributary of their men to become a part of the Khazarian war, or put it like this, Ottoman war machine. They were trained up in the art of Ottoman war. Vlad Tepes and his brother were given as a keepsake by his father to the Sultan, as a keepsake that the Valaks wouldn't wage war against the Turks. And Vlad Tepes hated the fucking Turks. And he learned warfare from them, their style of war. And when his father died, he was sent back by the Sultan to basically be a transplant for the Sultan among the Valaks. And Vlad Tepes was like, fuck you. And he was killing them bastards and impaling them. So these people who are so-called Jews to this day, their ancestors were being killed by Vlad Tepes.
Yeah, big nose or whatever.
The big nose people.
They're gonna do what they.
The big nose people. Your ancestors were getting run through by Vlad Tepes. He was tearing your asses up, and eventually you did catch up to him. The Sultan's one of his assassins caught the Tepish, and they beheaded him, and they put his head in a jar of honey and all that after they beheaded him. But he put the fear of God in your ass.
But now I'm gonna bring this out real quick since you brought that point out. All right, in Second Thessalonians, the 3rd chapter, because see, it wasn't our time back then. We had to go through that, right? So now this is our Second Thessalonians chapter 3. Wait, hold on.
Right, it wasn't our time back then. It was time for us to go down during that period during the Middle Ages.
See, prophecy had to be fulfilled. We had to go down. We had to go into slavery, and actually we had to come here because this place, which is called America now, which is in the Bible, you know, through the Spirit, all right, through the precepts, you understand when it's talking about America. This was prophesied to come into power. This was one of the 8th head that came out of from the 7th.
Yep.
So this was prophesied. So these things didn't happen yet at that time. So we were. That's why they were able to defeat us. So this is 2 Thessalonians 2:2. It said that you be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled neither by spirit nor by word nor by letter as from us, as that the day of Yahushua is at hand.
Right.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first.
Right. It had to be a falling away first, which goes to Revelation, the 20th chapter, which says he must be loosed a little season to deceive the nations once more.
Hold on, let me get it for you.
So that whole thing with Jake going down, with the Valaks being brought down by the Sultan, by the Ottoman Empire.
It had to happen.
That had to happen. Spain and Portugal fell.
Yep.
The Moors fell. Spain in 1492, August of 1492, the Moors lost the city of Granada to the damn Edomites that was there. They lost the city of Granada, so it was brought down.
And even not for nothing, even towards the end of the Roman Empire, going into the Holy Roman Empire, all right, you had Jake was in there in positions of ruling.
That's right.
Septimius, right? Severius.
And before him, Marcus Aurelius.
Licinius Niger.
Yep.
And going back even before then. Even before, you know, so Jake already was in there. So, but that wasn't the time for us. That's why that didn't work. That's why there was all kind of turmoil, all type of wickedness was happening. Because basically Jake just slid into Esau's place.
Yep.
Right? But as a fall, and that had to come away. So that's why going into what we know now is the Renaissance era, we could say officially is when we really started falling. Like they really started taking all the strongholds throughout Europe, even though you had groups of Jake that was still left in a lot of these areas. But as far as the rulership, if I'm saying it right, we lost all of it. But to prove that we were ruling is we got his images, icon images. If you want to draw them up while I read Revelations 20 for you, I think this is what you wanted earlier. Revelations 20:1, it says, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand." All right,
having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. Yep.
Yeah. So that's history. You got to understand this history we're going into in order to actually break that down accurately, man. Because that's dealing with that time period. Because why? Esau was under subjection underneath us. That's why they had to come, and that's why they converted to what they call Judaism now. All right, like the bishop went into that history earlier.
Now look at this icon. What do you see? The books are open. You see what? The key with the chain in his hand right there. Right there. Look, right there.
Ooh. Can I show? Can I show?
The bishop gonna put it up there. See, and what I'm gonna do later when we finish this show, once it's uploaded, I'm gonna take it, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the icons. I'm gonna put everything he's showing you. I'm gonna put it up on the screen, nice so y'all can see it. So I'm gonna edit the video and I'm gonna put it up on my site, edited. Once this video goes up, but this is an image that goes back to the Voronet Monastery in Romania, and you see right there, the brother read that there was a great chain in his hand, and he had the key to the bottomless pit. You see that? The books were open, and you see the hand with the key. And what do you see? all black people all around. Those are the
shit.
angels.
It went off.
Yeah, those are the angels. The image that the brother was showing you.
That's heavy, man.
Yeah, and it showed it right there.
That's heavy, man.
And you seen all the holy angels and the saints all around in judgment. And hold up, when you look at this image here, you see Yahweh Shai, and then you see the books open, and you see the hand with the key, and who's that? Edomites being put into slavery. So the image
it was written.
it's written, but that's the picture of it right there.
Yep.
And this is a monastery in Romania where this image is at, on the outside of the church. And people go there to visit the church and take pictures of it. So you devils, you know you're going into slavery. During the Middle Ages, Jake knew that they were supposed to be ruling. They knew that they were the people of the Most High.
Who's the people of the Most High?
Israelites. You understand? And then this particular picture, it's a gigantic mural around an entire church, and it shows Esau being put into slavery. It shows the angels shooting fire at these devils. The angels shooting fire at the devil, the so-called white man, putting them in slavery. Move it over to the right some. Yeah, black people. And it shows you that nothing but black people putting crackers in slavery, got their hands tied behind their back and shooting lasers on them. You might have to move the picture on the screen.
Oh yeah, maybe zoom it.
Okay, so
I mean, they might have seen it, but yeah,
here it goes right there.
Got it.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
it goes. I reset the picture right there. Yep. So the brother's gonna put the picture back up there to show you. And what do you see? You see the angels putting the chains around the Edomites and putting them in slavery. And this is at a monastery in a church in Romania called a Voronet Monastery. So you devils know that you're going into slavery. You know that you're going. These are black people during the Middle Ages that painted these things. And so they knew who the devil was.
That's right. And notice they didn't sit there and say that they're gonna be. Oh, they blacked out. They didn't sit there and say that, show them repenting or nothing like that, and them having mercy and being in the kingdom. So that's why, the Lord is gonna kill you, wicked niggas, man. That's wickedness that you niggas is out there doing. You doing straight up wickedness, man. You blasphemy. You lying about the truth, man. You sitting up there promising saying that these devils could make it. The Most High said they're not gonna make it. He said that what? He said he said that he's angry. He has righteous indignation with them forever, man.
That's right.
All right. The Most High gonna never love these damn devils. They was created to be the devil.
That's right.
All right. And so a lot of you niggas got a lot to pay for, man. Yeah, Gok and others of that same ilk, man. Yep. That's why it's about 100% truth, man. Because just because you saying that you're an Israelite, but then if you come out and say we're Israelites, but Esau, the so-called white man, he could convert and be saved, you a goddamn devil, man. That's right. You a black devil. You a damn demon, and you a false prophet, man. You worse than Martin Luther King.
Yep.
Because you niggas supposed to know better, man. We bringing out concrete, and the devil knows this, man. Because if we're able to get this information, they've been seeing
this. That's why they put the smear campaign out against the Israelites to whitewash everything in history that they could possibly whitewash, and to not teach certain things in the public food system to keep you stupid. And it worked, because a lot of you Negroes, just face it, a lot of you Negroes, West Indians, Puerto Ricans, Haitians, Dominicans, Cubans, Mexicans, you're about as dumb as a fucking box of rocks. And so it did work. It did work.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of you stupid sellout niggas are still talking about some goddamn black history. All right? Black History Month or whatever.
We just showed you real black history. This is real black history right here. We just showed it to you.
That's right. So it says, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, and Satan. See, the Lord said that the white man is the devil.
That's right.
He said, and he's Satan.
Yep.
Satan.
Satan meaning adversary.
Adversary, man.
Because he's against the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. He's against the people of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They have a perpetual hatred for us, a continual hatred. They have a visceral hatred for the children of Israel. That's why no matter where we are in the world, they make it their business to keep us oppressed. And it don't matter where you go. If you go to France, if you go to Germany, if you go out to Russia, hell, if you go to the Ukraine, notice
Yeah.
over there in the Ukraine, they're letting the women and the children out first, women, children, and then white men, and then you got Nigerians that live
Jake,
out there,
niggas,
which are Jakes.
American
They gotta
niggas.
wait, and American Negroes, you gotta sit there and wait for them to get out first.
And they were showing all the different, because Jake faced racism even in a lot of them other countries, man.
That's right.
Some of them niggas, like them basketball niggas, be on a contract playing at CBA.
Yep.
They go out there, they go into the, the Russian bar or whatever, whereas mostly of them Russians, and of course, them Edomite, when they see Jake, boy, they see heaven.
Yep.
All right, they see heaven, man. They like, man. And so what happened is them motherfuckers get mad over that shit.
Yep.
And they be trying to they kill some of them niggas, man.
Yeah.
All right. And the thing is the irony of it is that Jake is really the more so right to those lands as well. Not just America, not just so-called the land of Ham, which is Africa. First of all, throughout Europe, that's our land, man. All right, and that's why if you look at the names you go into the names of these lands, such as Scotland, what does that mean? Land of the blacks,
right?
Okay, Ireland, okay, land of the Irish, right? England, land of the angels.
That's right.
All right, the Anglo-Saxons, the angelic sons of Isaac,
or Great Britain or Britannia,
yeah.
British, which means man of the covenant or covenant man, British.
Yep.
Brit meaning covenant, and ish meaning man. Covenant man or man of the covenant. The men of the covenant were Israelites. And Great Britain, since you mentioned Great Britain was once controlled by Septimius Severus, which became emperor of Rome in 193 AD. Septimius commanded legions that controlled Britannia at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Septimius and his legions were in Great Britain. That's where they were, in Great Britain. So that was controlled by a black man in early AD.
So they got a series. I don't know how many brothers watch it. It's called Britannia, right? It's kind of bad. It's a bad. They have like the Roman soldiers, and they'll have certain Jake showing you that they knew that Jake. Just like today, you got a lot of so-called Negroes, and it's the same thing all over. Everything is reincarnated, and the Bible backs up reincarnation. All right, but now back then, the same thing. They had the Jake in the Roman army, right, and they were going down there invading Britannia. Then they was dealing with the witches and everything. But the thing is look, you might as well put all of them. Don't just have one Roman soldier as a black man.
Yeah.
Go to Britannia. You had Jake ruling a lot of those areas, man.
That's right.
You see, so now it's hard time to wake up with that mentality that these devils were all, the noble. It wasn't nothing noble ever about these devils, man. They were in slavery. They were under subjection. They were servants. Okay, as you see in another one of those icon images, they were being led into slavery, man.
That's right.
And what's the name of that image?
The Voronet ministry in Romania, the Voronet monastery in Romania.
And what do they call it? What else after that?
This image is called Judgment Day.
It's called Judgment Day, right? Or you get into the multiverse. What do they call it? The multiverse or some shit.
Metaverse, whatever that.
Oh, the multiverse. I'm wild. I'm talking about some Doctor the Spider-Man. One of them shits. But the metaverse, right?
Yeah.
You go into the metaverse, or you go on some virtual reality tour and go to Romania. Look for this church. You should see this church straight up. Matter of fact, I wish I had that shit so I could go look at this shit right now. But it's right there. If you could go to Romania, it's right there. And there's brothers that's from there. See? And that's the Israelite foreigners. You got brothers that's from there or close by that joined the camps, I think in the England camp and a few other camps. Now, they're probably descendants straight up from Vlad Tepes and them people. All right? So you can't get caught up by just the skin color as well.
Right.
Because our people come in all shapes and sizes. It goes into the one spirit, Romans 8 and 16. All right, and knowing that history and that nationality, man.